next is the date section. If you are sending your resume to a Japanese employer via post, then you need to write down the date you will be sending it by post. If you're sending it by email or you're sending it when you have an interview, then you need to write the date of the interview. If you are sending your resume to multiple Japanese employers, then remember to keep the date of the resume up to date accordingly. The next section is that of the date of birth. Now, the Japanese style resumes actually require you to mention both your date of birth and your age. Write your date of birth in the format of year, month, and day of birth. Remember to update your age accordingly as in when you apply to different companies. Next is the section where you mention your gender. Encircle the space according to your gender, a female or a male. Next is the address section. In the address section, you need to write your zip code first and then your address below it. Please write down the city, town, and the prefecture name. Instead of writing down your address in just the numeric form, as it is considered to be informal, write down your address as it is shown on the screen right now. Now, the Japanese style resume, like many other resume styles, asks you for your permanent and your temporary address. Enter the temporary address only if you want the company to contact you at this address, otherwise mention same as above. The next section is of the contact number. In many Japanese homes, even today, you have Japanese telephone or landline numbers. But as a foreigner, it's really difficult to actually have a Japanese landline or a telephone number. So this section can actually be skipped. If you also do not have a mobile number, then it's not really necessary to write one. You can skip this section too. In the email address section, try entering the email that you use very often. The email addresses usually used in Japan include Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, SoftBank, and Docomo. The next is the photograph section. The photograph shouldn't be any more than 3 months old. The length of the photograph should be 3.6 centimeters to 4 centimeters, and the width of the photograph should be 2.4 centimeters to 3 centimeters. Your photograph should be taken from the chest up. If you're taking your photograph at home, then make sure that you have a white background behind. Your mouth should be closed and the corners of your mouth should be stretched a little like this. Giving a very stern expression can look very rude to the company, so just be cautious of the expression you have when you're getting the photograph clicked. The dress code while you get the photograph clicked should be formal. Men can usually carry suits and the women as well. The color should not be very flashy. Women with long hair should basically tie their hair so that the photo does not look messy. Next is the educational background section. In this section, you need to mention all of your educational qualifications from the time of high school. You need to enter your entrance and your graduation dates. Also, all of the details of the Japanese language schools you've attended, the vocational schools you've attended, and the universities you've attended should be entered here. For vocational schools and universities, you can also write down your faculties, departments, and majors. If in case you are a dropout, then remember to mention your reason for dropout of school or university, such as dropout because of personal reasons, dropout because of health concerns. And as a foreigner, you can also be very worried about whether you should be mentioning your dropout dates or reasons or not. But remember, you need to be as honest as possible, because if the Japanese employers figure out that you have been lying, they might just debar you from taking the interview, or they might not even take a look at your resume. If you are a student at the moment, then remember to mention your scheduled or expected graduation date.